You know, how you doing? It's the Earthling here. This is an answer to I'm not sure if his name is Shock of God, yeah, or whatever. They get kind of confused, these guys sometimes, but they're arguing about this. One guy comes up with this: prove to me that atheism is true and correct, or the other guy will come up with prove to me that God doesn't exist. Christians love to say that one. Just they understand this. The one thing they understand about science is that we provide we desire and actually we feign truth and knowledge and all that we want to know. We question, uh, and so they come up with this thing about he goes. He says that a atheist came up with a video that says proof that atheism is right and correct. Atheists don't think that way. It's not. It's not that we think our position is right and correct. It's that we understand science. Don't you see that? I mean, it's just there's no real position to be correct. It's just how we're born. We're born atheists. We're born without gods and deities and beliefs and dogmas and tenets and all that. We're born that way, which is your proof, by the way, that atheism is correct because we're born that way. And you people who think that your God created us, then He created us that way, right? Oh no! First, you have to admit that we were born atheists, and you won't be able to do that because, oh well. Anyway, it doesn't matter, You guys come up with these questions like, prove that atheism is correct, no, this, prove that, do this, and then you'll question science and you'll question evolution and you'll say there's gaps there. That doesn't compute. That's non sequitur. It doesn't make any sense to me. We understand that those questions that you all ask and why does evolution have this? You got to see them all. I don't know if you've seen them all, Shock, but well, yeah, you probably have. You're the guy that asks those stupid questions, and you do it on purpose because you seem intelligent enough to think critically and realize what you've gotten yourself into. That you're hung up in this cult mythology and and you have to dumb down. You have to force yourself to be stupid to be accepted in this group. That's just dumb. I mean, come on. Don't eat from the tree of knowledge. That's right there in your book. He wants you stupid, enslaved, and naked. Yeah, it's just silly. So the whole point is deities and gods and all that, they're just unnecessary. They're never really necessary. It's just that human beings during the time of the Stone Age and all that, they were pretty stupid stitious. So it's just they tried to explain things. It's saying, well, science. They tried to explain science in the only way they knew how, to personify it, anthropomorphize it, put it into parables, fables, and myths, legends. You guys just swallow it right up. You chose the best one though. The one the Romans say was actually just a Jewish revolt, and that this Christ cult is actually just a, a rebellion cell, a rebel cell that was led by this Christ guy, this guy Jesus. They don't even say his name, by the way. They don't even know. They call it the Christ cult. Yeah, that's plenty of the younger called it, and that's real history. And nowhere else do you hear a mention of any kind of a Jesus or I mean, if the guys were around doing those kind of miracles, shit, come on. All those scribes would have been writing about him. Not just the so-called biblical scholars, but their English names. Yeah, Western English names. Paul and Luke and Matthew. And go over there. You're not going to hear that fucking name. And they go, well, it's translated. And that's my point. Translated. King James Version. Say shit like it's written by the word of God. Fine and dandy. if that's the case, and you really want to do this to yourself, you know, the dumbing down, the I don't get science, so by default it must be magic. That's what you say. All your little questions and your innuendos and all these little videos about how evolution is this or that, or how proof that atheism is not correct, and all these other little things. I know what they are. We all know what they are. We out here who have rational thought, we know all about that stuff. It's called innuendo. And the underlying question is, the underlying statement there is, since I don't get science, I don't understand it, it's, why should I study it? It's easier to just say it was magic. Of course, you don't say magic. You like to use the word miracle, God, you know, Jesus, devil. But actually it's magi and magus. It's magic. It's spells. It's, you guys, come on. You know, you believe in magic. That's all there is to it. If you don't get science, just don't get science. You know, you can say that. I don't get it. Somebody might teach it to you. And if you ask these questions that are within the scientific realm, the least you can do is have a little respect and accept the answer. Whether you want to accept it as true or not is up to you, but at least acknowledge that you got the answer. But see, you don't do that. And the thing about prove atheism is correct. Well, just like I said, you've been told, you've been answered over and over and over again, and you and all your cadre just don't care to hear. You know, you're trying to convince us that we're wrong about something. And it's not even about that. Only with you guys. You're the only ones who think you know the literal truth. Because we were just born this way. As atheists, we were born this way. Without all the funneled up voices in our heads. The desire and the need for a jackboot on our neck, enslaving us and telling us how to act. And yeah, this goofy thing about how, you know, that you can't have morality, objective morality, without a deity to give it to you. Excuse me? And you know what that one says to us? That you're standing on stage saying, I don't know right from wrong. Keep an eye on me because I don't know right from wrong. This superhero is going to take care of that for me. Excuse me? Well, that's what we hear. Don't you get that? When you guys say those irrational, nonsensical, unreasonable statements, and you just ask those goofy, strawman questions, those are the kinds of things that we actually hear. Because we dig under the innuendo and look at the underlying question and need there. And it's silly. I don't get science, so it must be magic. It's all, I mean, it's so simple. You think it's magic. Okay, then. If I come along and create a universe by just saying so in 7 days, what else would you call it but magic? You're so silly. You know, study your science. That's all you got to do. It'll sure save you a lot of stress, let me tell you. How do you like this 10,000-foot view? Because I was born this way. I'm God. Jeez. Barry Obama. I know I'm getting a little off the, yeah. The person of the subject is so what? You're still the same subject. Why did you do this to yourself, Obama? Barry, why would you want to dumb down and choose to be delusional? And I'm saying it again, this is probably the 10th time you've lost my vote already, and you're making it worse. What are you doing? Are you stupid? Get out of, you know, your oldest daughter, I'm telling you, she's so freaking embarrassed by you. I'm embarrassed for her, the poor kid. She has to tell her friends that you're delusional. You hear voices. That you think this resurrection thing with this Christ guy. I got a lot to be, you got to think about that. What? Anyway, y'all are just, we understand your innuendo. Okay, we get the questions. We've answered them. You don't like the answer. I don't know what else to tell you. You believe in magic. We don't mind going through the long, tedious study of science to figure out what's going on. Why, why is there, there's conflict because you say this about science and evolution, blah, blah, but you're doing it on a computer. That without evolution would not have been working. Trust me on that one. This is an evolved machine. Dumbasses. You don't get it because you believe in magic.